Back, boys and girls. Yesterday, you filled out a graphic organizer for the summary of America's champion swimmer Gertrude Ederle. And you filled out the who, what, where, when, why, and how boxes on that graphic organizer. Today, we are working on day 2. We're going to take that information and we're going to write one paragraph about that story. In your paragraph, this is your expectations, you are to indent your paragraph, use complete sentences with capital letters at the beginning of your sentence and proper punctuation at the end. You need to include a main idea, supporting details, and a conclusion. And you need to be neat so your teacher can read it. Now, as we go through, you're going to use the information you collected yesterday to write your paragraph. Are you ready? Great. All right, so boys and girls, this is what we did together yesterday. You should have the when, where, why, and how all filled out in your graphic organizer. And you are going to use that in your paragraph. I am going to start you off on the paragraph, and you are going to have to finish. So down here it says summary, and you actually have 2 pages of lines. So if you take up more room than what is given, feel free to go on the back. I turned that white because I do think it is easier for you to read. I'm going to start up here with the what, and I'm going to go in order to try to explain the story, okay? Now, this is a little bit more than just taking the sentences and cutting and pasting them into a paragraph. We want to make sure that it makes sense. So let's start. I'm going to read my box, and I'm going to read both of them in order. Gertrude Ederle was the first woman to swim across the English Channel, beating the records of men. Gertrude Ederle had her coach, sister with her while she swam. Okay, I'm going to take those 2 sentences and I'm going to start my paragraph. And remember, the first thing you have to do is indent. So you can hit the tab if that works on your device, or you're going to use the space bar and you're going to space over 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the space bar. Now I have my indent and I'm going to start typing. And I want a nice main idea. Well, the what happened is a good start to the main idea. But I'm going to include the title of the story. So I'm going to say, in the story of America's champion swimmer Gertrude Ederle, the woman, Gertrude Ederle, okay, was the first woman to swim across the English Channel, beating the records of men. So I used that sentence. All right, notice I did include the title of the story that I'm summarizing. In a summary, you should always include the title of the story you're summarizing. This title just happens to have the name of the main character, so her name is in there twice. Usually the title does not have the name of the main character in it. So let's read what we have. In the story of America's champion swimmer, Gertrude Ederle, the woman, In the story of America's champion swimmer Gertrude Ederle, the woman Gertrude Ederle was the first woman to swim across the English Channel, beating the records of men. And I capitalized English Channel because it is a proper noun. Now I'm going to go on to my second sentence. I don't really want to use the name Gertrude Ederle again because that would be poor word choice. I already have her name in there twice. So I am going to actually think of a different word for her name. Can you think of a different word that we can use for a person's name when we are writing? Yeah. Let's see, we could use she, her, it. What do we think? I'm thinking we're going to use the pronoun her. Her, actually, let's use she. I was going to say her coach, but that's skipping the first part. She had her coach and sister with her while she swam. All right, then I'm going to go on to the what or the when. When did it happen? So you should have had that filled out. I might say something about maybe the year or the season. What did you hear in the story? So you're going to finish using all these details. And then when you get done, you need to make sure you have a conclusion statement. So all of these would be details that you type. And I might end it with a conclusion statement, maybe stating your opinion. I think the story is, maybe you're going to give your opinion, or you could wrap it up by saying, that is the story of Gertrude Ederle. We can call her something, the famous American swimmer. So make sure you have a conclusion statement at the end that wraps it up. You don't just stop with the how, okay? So in between should be all of your supporting details for the main idea. All right, boys and girls, I want you to work really hard on this. Make sure it's neat so your teacher can read it. Remember, there is a second page if you need more lines, and reach out if you get stuck or need some help. All right, happy writing, boys and girls. You have a great day.